All right, so there's our silver hoard. Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I like to do is to create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out looking for treasure. This is the second part of the treasure bags jewelry bags. We managed to find some pretty good gold last video, probably a bunch of silver, a little bit of silver for sure. But we just ran out of time, and this tangle, yeah. So what we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna have a look through this, and we're gonna see what's worth untangling, and then we're gonna open up this and see what might be in here. It could be good stuff. I don't know. We'll see. But the main thing that I'm hoping you can get out of my videos is learn something that helps you to find your own treasure. I say that at the end of the videos a lot, and I really do mean it. It's been a lot of fun for me to see people actually able to respond and tell me that they have learned something in my video that helped them to find something cool. That's been a lot of fun. So this particular section here, if you have a tangle like this, and if you're buying jewelry jars or jewelry bags, you're probably going to end up with tangles like this, because the truth is, this is the kind of thing that ends up chucked into a jewelry bag or jewelry jar, because at a certain point, you know, they're often like whoever's actually sorting out the jewelry at a thrift shop just kind of hits a wall. And you know, what are you gonna do? It's a little too much. And it might be something that they literally just don't have enough time for in their job to actually do. So stuff just kind of ends up in these bags, because, you know, this takes a bunch of effort and time to undo. Now, when I find one like this, what I do first off is what you see me doing right now, which is to start untangling the earrings. The earrings, these hooks, are actually your biggest culprit in a snarl like this. See how they just like absolutely like wrap around everything? So if you can just attack those for a bit, like look at that thing. If you just attack that for a bit, you can get down to a place where the chains may actually come apart much more easily than you think. One of the key things too to note about these oftentimes is that some of the chains in there may be fairly fragile, especially like the gold ones. Gold chains are frequently very dainty, very petite, and as a consequence, they break pretty easily. So when you're doing this, one of the key things is just to be, you know, gentle, tease things out. Once you start removing, like, see this hook here? These hooks, they just get in everything. But once you start like getting all of those out, you'll start to find that the whole thing actually gets just to be easier and easier to undo. And in fact, if you get enough of them out, you might find that there really isn't a lot more to do. That you've actually succeeded at getting it all good to go. But then you'll also run into things that are just like kind of confusing. I'm not sure what's going on there. But in this video today, what I hope we'll do is we'll find out if we got more gold than we thought we did from the last video. And we'll get a good lesson in evaluating a snarl here to see if you want to undo things. I've already spotted one silver chain, which is why I am bothering to take out the earrings. I also like to take out the earrings because there might be a silver earring. But see this? See what's happening now? That I can just literally like, they're just coming apart. It's like it's magic. Now that the earrings are out of there, a lot of this stuff isn't really tangled hardly at all. It's just, now, one of the key things here is being gentle and not tugging on anything, because you can end up with some serious knots when you do that. But I also like to take off the ends I've got this magnet in my hand. Let's take that out. That's causing us grief. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Look at that. I would think if that's gold, it would say so. It does not. Doesn't quite have the look. It feels interesting though. Huh. I'm gonna toss that in my my bag. We'll test that. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, these things may seem daunting at first, but with just like a little bit here, they're coming apart, and then we can look at stuff like whatever this is. It's nothing. Our magnet is our buddy. It tells us when things are steel that are plated. Most of the time. Sometimes the magnet will pick up on like high nickel content, silver generally, sometimes gold. So you want to double check. And if the magnet tells you something and you don't quite believe it because the piece looks good, well, don't believe it. The magnet is not a positive test for gold or silver. It's just a tool that can help you more quickly like determine what is worth your attention. And when you've got a snarl like this, what's worth your attention is generally going to be, I mean, if something's like old and antique and special or precious metals. So, wow, there are so many earrings in this thing. Got all these earrings. That looks nice, though. Look at that. So this chain. So what I'm doing here is I'm just checking to see does it react to the magnet? It does not. Now the catches will react to the magnet because there's a steel spring in there. But if the chain doesn't, then it warrants a closer look for sure, especially when they're dainty like this one. And I think, actually, let me say, I hope if we just gently tease this one out. Can we get it out? Gently. Because this is the right kind of dainty for gold. See, it's got a little bit of a knot in it here, so we want to just be so gentle. Aha, we're out. All right, did our perseverance pay off? It is gold fill, looks like, I think. Yep, gold fill. So, gold-ish. There's a lot of gold on that. There's a lot of gold involved in that, and that's a nice chain. Definitely be nice for a pendant or for use, and it's also not worn out. So we are definitely going to put that one in a safe place because it should make for a good chain. But that's kind of what we're doing here. Like, you know, we look here. Does this react to the magnet? It does. So we're not going to try to dig that one out. That doesn't quite look like gold, but it's very dainty. It's worth trying to find the end of it, right? Because if you can find where things are marked, I also tend to find that if I just undo latches as I'm going, things just kind of get easier and easier. Okay. All right, this looks good right here. What do we got going on here? Okay, maybe another gold fill. Oh, it looks old, that's for sure. Yeah, I think maybe definitely an old style catch. I don't see any markings on it, and it's got a little bit of a tarnish situation. That's a knot we could get out later. Doesn't quite have the gold look, so we're going to go ahead and hang that one up as another gold fill, like a good old gold fill one. Zoom out. So you can tell which ones are steel real quick that way. Okay. Let's see, what other targets do we have? This is a good, that's going to be silver. Look at that one. Okay. So basically, you know, after a while you get a notion of what something looks like. And here you can see that's a nice quality chain with 100% the silver look. And as you do this, if you're new to this, as you do this, you'll get to a point where you look at something and pretty much go, oh yeah, that's silver. Now, are you right all of the time? No. But it tells you what to look close at. And I think that's the key, because this has a real silver look. Now, it could be silver plate, thick silver plate, but it's worth digging out and trying to figure out if it is silver, because, you know, we like silver. And there, we're dug out. But I think it might just be plate. Yeah, it's got some nice traits for silver, but I don't see any markings that indicate that it is. And it's actually lower quality than it looks like, so I think that is just a costume. And then, of course, the fewer you have in there, the better off you are for disentangling things. All right, so let's just have us a look-see. That is not... That looks like brass. Too shiny. Oh, let's get you out of here. Nope. Neither of you are. Nope. But this is not as tangled as it seems. You noticing how things are just kind of coming out now without anything? Now, I will say, if you have one of these big old snarls, if you end up like tugging and jerking on stuff quite a bit, you will make it much worse. But if you just kind of go with it, and when something can come, it can come, and when it doesn't want to, you just don't force it. You'll find that the bulk of it will often come apart quite easily, unless somebody's been seriously messing with it, which happens. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here that like tickles my fancy. All of this is definitely reacting to the magnet. So I'm going to ignore that. What does this say? Whiting Davis. But what we're going to do is check to see what may be gold or silver in here. And then we're just going to work on that. So this piece, this one's real dainty, doesn't react to the magnet. Oh, look, we got something here. 925, so we got a bit of a silver necklace. Let's see if we can extract. Got a couple things here I want to extract. Good, there we go. Okay, so what we're looking at here is actually silver, not gold. And it may be tangled up beyond what I'm going to do, but I'm going to put it in our silver. Worst comes to worst, it's scrap silver, right? What do we think? Anything a likely target in here? One of the things I've definitely learned about chains is don't discount anything based on its construction. Because there's a lot of precious metal chains that look way wackier than you might expect. The thing to really hone in on is like tone. Like here, I think we've got, yeah, look at this. There we go. Italian silver. Let's get this one out of here. If we can. But again, gentle does it. If stuff isn't coming, just tease it out. Teasing is absolutely the way to go with this stuff. So you can see it's just a sort of a gentle, if something can start to come, let it. If it doesn't, don't force it. And you'll find, until you hit like a real big snarl like this, that a lot of this stuff will just come for you. And then there we are. Now, silver chain, broken, but still silver chain. Are we getting a good return on our time here? Probably not. Is this fun? I think so. I find this relaxing. Now, if you're watching this and you're like screaming at the screen right now, get on with it. Jewelry bags may not be for you. If you like puzzles, and you enjoy sitting down and just focusing on something little for the fun of it, these are definitely going to be your jam. Most places I've been when I've gotten jewelry bags, they have been something like this. Just a wad of chains, usually not gold, but sometimes gold. And then pretty much always silver. I don't know that I've ever found a snarl like this that didn't involve silver. Look how dainty this is. Remember when I'm talking about being gentle? This is why you want to be gentle. Yeah, look at that thing. What do we think? Gold? That is so tiny. I'm going to have to use a loop. Well, I can't make it out. I think maybe it's 416 or 412. I don't know. What do you folks think? I'm pretty sure it's gold. I can't think of any kind of chain that would be this dainty that isn't. But I don't know what to make of that mark. Maybe it's a 10 karat. Something else? Yeah, leave a comment. I'm going to put that in a special place. Maybe we'll test it. I would like to try to undo it. And honestly, I do not have the time right now to disentangle this. So this one is going to lurk in a place for a future time. In fact, I'm going to put it right in a drawer right here so that we have it in the future. And if you can tell me what that marking was, I would really appreciate it. But yeah, so these are fun. I think we are hitting the bottom of what's actually in here, though, in terms of like precious metals. And that's the other thing too. When you got these things, at a certain point, just cut your losses and walk away from it, because if it's making you mad or you think you've got everything good out of it, you can always come back to it. Or you can just pull out what I think is a silver chain, maybe. Nope, I don't think so. Yeah. So I think I want to have a closer look at this big tangled mess right here, because the more tangled, the better in my book usually. But no, that's nothing. Have a look at this right here. This thing might be some. No, it's not. I don't think. Yeah, there may be more silver in here, huh? This one's broken, but I think it's silver. Yeah, 925 right there. I think. Double check on the loop. Yeah, 925. All right, it's broken though. But yeah, I mean, do you like finding little bits of silver? Then giant tangles of necklaces are absolutely for you. But I promised in this video that I would get to this other thing, and as you've probably noticed, if you've been watching my channels at all and my content at all, I can get a little obsessive. People ask me, how do you find this stuff? Well, I think if you're watching this and seeing how I can't stop doing this, that might actually answer your question. I just never stop looking for things. I never, ever stop. There we go. Some more silver there, looks like. So I have to force myself to set this down, even though we do keep pulling silver out of it. But I don't just make these videos to entertain myself. Oh man, no, is that? My other intention is to educate and entertain. So if I'm getting to the point where my little obsessiveness about this is no longer entertaining, maybe I should put a stop to it. But in this case, I probably shouldn't have stopped, because this is interesting. I saw some writing here, I thought. Yeah, look at that. What does that say? Artistry, 12 karat gold fill. That's cool. Neat piece. So that's not solid gold, but it's a nice quality piece of jewelry. And that's an example of something that I would pull out of here, even though it's not necessarily a precious metal. Yeah, we'll set this one aside. I don't think that there's anything else in here that's actually worth our time on the video. Of course, maybe there's a gold chain in here and you folks are screaming at me, there's gold. Don't set it down. Don't quit now. But you can see how much of this stuff is magnetic and seriously magnetic. There's a lot of stuff in here that's, you know, low quality, very much sticks to the magnet. But I promised this other bag, and I promised some testing. So we are done with this for now. Are we done with this? We're done with this. And I will have a double check on it later and just make sure that we're not missing something. That's probably silver. But I'll probably just spend the whole video doing this if you let me. And you shouldn't let me. You should be yelling, no, go on to the other things you promised. Because that's what I promised. All right, let's set that aside for right now. And oh, look at this. Let's deploy big old scissors. Because you don't want to see me wrestling with tape after watching me wrestle with all those necklaces for so long. What do we think's in our bag within a bag? Oh, look at that. That looks like silver. Yeah, sure enough. It's kind of interesting. It's not silver though, so away you go. Hey, not silver. Got our 925 right there. Won't say no to that. Is it stuck to a silver necklace? It is stuck to a silver necklace. Look at that. Wow, that silver necklace and it are very entwined. Let's see if we can get this silver necklace out. Oh, there's a bunch of 925 in this thing. Look at this thing. Okay, what do we got going on here? Oh, that's... Oh, you're good now. Out you come. So that's a silver necklace by the looks of it. Yep, 925, and I think the pendant is too. Maybe. It says S. Don't think so. But it's stuck on the chain, so we're going to put it in our silver pile nonetheless. Speaking of silver, oh, look at that. Mexico, 925. Yeah, that's silver. I think. Nope, I'm wrong. And this is where I was talking about when you start to get tired, it's probably best just to walk away from some of this stuff. Hey, look at that. Pretty tangled up necklace, or, oh wait, no. That's a bracelet. And then this is a bracelet. Oh yeah, so that was two different things. All right, we got some 925, 925. Okay. Interesting. Leah Sophia. Okay. Nope. Oh, this looks like it's silver. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is. That's cool. Make a good pendant. Nope. Well, that's that other one. I already determined that wasn't. Oh, that looks good. It's kind of interesting. Throw that in our probable silver pile. Pretty sure it is. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yep. Not probable silver. Actual silver. Oh, that's cool. Put those in our paired earrings bag. Ooh. Nope, nothing. I was saying ooh because those things are frequently, that kind of form is something that I found in gold quite a few different times. Nope. Oh, I feel like we have the other one of those in here somewhere. Yeah, we do. Look at that. We absolutely do. Right there. Those are paired, but they're also sterling. So, speaking of sterling, oh, you know what? Do we have... Yeah. Pair. Nice. That doesn't look good for sterling, but maybe the back? Nope, surgical steel. Okay. Oh. Yeah, very clearly plated. You can see all the stones are just glued in, except for the big one in the middle. That looks like it's silver. We'll put that in probable silver. Yeah, it looks like it's silver. That is definitely silver. Not high quality. That hinge is not doing well. We'll double check though, because like a little bit of gold is worth a lot these days. Nope. Silver? Oh. Doesn't react. Does it react? Nope. We'll put that in for testing. Oh, there's a pair of earrings. Speaking of pair of earrings, there's the other one of those. Yeah, there it is. Those are pretty cool. Okay. No, that's the other one. Okay. And I think we are approaching the end here. Nope. That's silver. Nope. Okay. And then now that is okay. Now, you might be wondering, why did I set this aside? It looks like it's absolutely roached out garbage. I was wondering if it was a rough casting. It's not a rough casting, I don't think. Maybe? It's weird. It is very weird. Huh. I'll wash this. But then last thing was this. Looks like it's silver, maybe? Yep. Okay. All right, so at this point, I'm going to go do some testing. We'll wash this up, see what's going on, and I will come back and finish out this video for you. All right, we're back. No real surprises. Not gold. Not gold. Not gold. Silver. Not gold. I am not sure what this thing is, but it is corroded as all get out, so it's definitely not a precious metal. And then this tested positive for being gold. So that guy is definitely a little bit of gold there. I am going to put these things away correctly. We got a little bit of a weight. Now, if you watch the last one, you'll notice I didn't weigh anything up. That's because it was all in one bag. But I'm going to toss my gold in here. And we're just going to weigh up the gold in this. The silver is, I don't know. I guess we can weigh up the silver. No, it's kind of a mess. Let me show you all the silver we got. Because we just ended up with like a lot of stuff with stones on it. And you can kind of just estimate what you got. But the problem is if you weigh it, and there's a few things here that definitely need testing. The problem is if you weigh it, like, you know, what are the stones? What are the additional bits? I think that this kind of pile here is definitely something to go through and make sure that everything is good to go for actually selling in terms of as jewelry for the most part. I think here, I don't think there's much that's just in scrap. Oh, that's not even a piece of silver. So I guess we can weigh it. I shouldn't make videos tired, should I? All right, so there's our silver hoard. What do we got there? 60 grams. 60 grams, 64 grams, something like that, 50 grams. Just from a scrap silver standpoint, and there's a couple pieces in here that probably aren't, but just from a scrap silver standpoint, I think we did good for our 1250. However, we also did good in terms of gold. I have here all of our 10 karat gold, or I expect it's 10 karat. Some of it might be 14, but we'll just presume it's 10. I suppose those little guys are a lot of them are 14, but for the sake of argument, we'll say 10 karat. But there's a mix of 10 karat and 14 in there. And 7 grams of 10 karat gold is definitely more than $12.50. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and leave you. If you enjoy the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, though, I hope that something about this video taught you something, and you can use that information to go out and find some treasure.
Like this, I've been Thomas.